Hello everyone, I am 2 days late on my SUPERBOSS video, but that is mainly just because I really do not have enough tokens to clear the SUPERBOSS myself. So whenever I wanted to record, it would always be on a variation that I have already recorded. And as I just mentioned, I really don't have the tokens to just power through a Kizuna boss on my SUPERBOSS on my own. So I had to wait around for this dex variation right here. And the teams that are in this video, they're not like anything spectacular. They all deal around 2 to 3 million damage depending on stat boosts. I believe stat boosts are random depending on how many assists you have done for a certain friend. And the strength team can definitely be improved upon. I do not have a flat chain booster because Straw Hat parts are just that restrictive. I can't use Sabo on the same turn, even though he wouldn't even add any beneficial effects except the perfect timer and the turn timer. So, but what you can do is you can put support Jinbei on Sabo. He'll give a plus 0.2, which is really small, but it's better than nothing, and should boost your damage by a few 100,000, maybe even 1 million. Should definitely, yeah, it's definitely more than 1 million, I'd imagine, since there's a lot of chain boosting going on. Yeah, I don't have any of the newer boosted units, so I'm not really capable of dealing that much damage. Though on the Dex team, like on the versus quick team, I do have Lucci and Crocodile, which are relatively new. But they weren't built for this Kizuna, so even they don't do that well. They basically just compensate me for not having good Dex units. Now I just want to spend the rest of the video talking about 2 new legends that will be dropping in 2 days as of recording this video, and I should be uploading this relatively soon, so when this goes up about 46 hours from now, their Sugo Fest should be dropping. Now let me see here, pull up their info. Now if you haven't seen their arts, I did put like 10 seconds of each of their art at the end of this video. These are Sulong Dogstorm and Sulong Cat Viper, as the English dub or sub calls them. They're very similar to Carrot, starting with Dogstorm sets, and Dog and Cat, they work well together. Let's just say that, and they're very similarly built to each other. So it's not very easy to read right now, but at the end of the video it is a bit larger, and I might comment on this video with their information. Or you could just check the One Piece Treasure Cruise Twitter. That's where I got this from. So essentially both of them set their specials to max when they're a captain. That's not as good as it seems, in my opinion, since Carrot essentially already has her special very close to max. The only benefit to this is that also in Dog and Cat's captain ability, on stage 3 their special gets reduced by 5. So if you use their special before stage 3, it's essentially as if you've never launched their special in terms of cooldown. Since one downside of having your special set to max is that cooldown reduction at the beginning of a fight loses value. So what I'm talking about is the sockets that gives you -2, right? And then there's their captain abilities themselves, which if you're running 2 of them is -4, so that's -6. And usually a ship will also reduce your cooldown by 1, So that's -7. And I don't understand why it's only a -5 on stage 3. Especially considering their cooldowns are also 13, which is pretty long for a speed captain. So on stage 3, their specials are going to be what? There's not enough time to get to math and talk about everything I want to say, so yeah. There's a -5, but you still miss out on a -7, but the added benefit of you being able to potentially launch their special twice, and their special is pretty good, reduces everyone's cooldowns, but the characters themselves, since they are launching a special, it's not like they get a -2 as well. And on top of that, they will either boost so these fighters, slashers, strider, and shooters, those are what I'd call primary classes. Or Blackbeard, Spirit, Cerebral, and Powerhouse, those are secondary classes. They were introduced later on. So one notable difference from Carrot that these two legends have is that they have dropped the Cerebral. And Cerebral, it's honestly... It's pretty average loss. Cerebral is not the greatest class, I'd say, but it's also not weak since they do have Crocodile, as you can see. Like, Crocodile is very good. Though I guess that also really doesn't matter since Crocodile really holds well on his own. Both of these legends are Dex, and Crocodile is also Dex. And Crocodile wants to introduce cerebral characters, and both of these new legends are fighter slasher. Cat is a super type for Dex, while Dog is a super class for fighter, which I believe Koala already is, so now we have 2 Dex super class fighters already. There's only 5 super classes in the game. But yeah. I really have just been comparing them to Carrot this whole time, which really is a fair comparison. Also, they do have the same gimmick where they can bypass defensive effects, but that is limited to having their HP above 50%, which I think is pretty smart move by Bandai. If they ever want to nerf these captains, all they have to do is set your healing to 0 and set your health to 1. If they ever want you to not quote-unquote cheese content. But again, it's 10 turns, and you have the same cooldown reduction as Carrot, ignoring the fact that you might be able to launch their special twice, so you might get an extra -2 cooldown. But their cooldown is also 3 turns longer at Limit Break Max than Carrot. 13 turn cooldown is pretty long. But yeah, setting a special to max is pretty good. But how often do you need to launch a special at stage 1 or 2? Yeah. And even their boosts, they're only 2.5 boosts. Yes, they are 2 turns, but having one boost 4 classes and the other boost 3 colors, I do like this new sort of like restricting for team building. I find it a lot more compelling than, say, the Kaido crew, which only required 6 powerhouses. Like, I'd really dislike just having one type or class and building your entire team around one thing. Like, sometimes it's fine, but like for these past couple of years, it's just been either build your entire team for one type, or most recently with Kaido crew, just one class. Overall, I do think they are a slightly better Carrot, as long as the content is not Psi or Int based, because Carrot will actually boost Carrot will actually be better because she is essentially a universal booster. boosting every class except Free Spirit Driven and Powerhouse. So, and she's a 4 times boost, and if the characters on your crew aren't Psi or Int, you don't get the 5 times boost from their captains. So what I'm saying is, against Psi and Int content, Carrot can perform just as well as these 2 captains, but her special is a bit of a lower orb boost. I think it's 3 turns though, I might be wrong, it might be 1 turn. Might be getting her 6+ confused with Germa right now. The lowering of the 12 to 10 turns of that defensive effect bypass, as well as the HP threshold that you have to take into consideration now, those are quite significant hits, I think, but most of the time it shouldn't matter since you want to be speeding through content anyways. 2 turns, it will make a difference in some cases, but most of the time it won't. Now, should you pull for these units? If you like the characters, I think you should pull. Like, why would you not pull for characters unless you're saving for a character you like even more? I really don't think pulling based on power level is that important. You can clear with any recent legend. Like, really. But if you really want my opinion on their power level, I don't think they're anywhere near the best legend in the game. They're too restricted for that. Though I do think they do have their own niche, since they are essentially a better carrot when they can be a better carrot. And I really like Carrot's gameplay. Being able to speed and just the amount of cooldown reduction. So, yeah. Thank you for watching and listening up to this point, if you are listening up to this point. Goodbye.